Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
So how would you like to achieve your first million? And today we have Alicia joining us from Florida, United States. So Alicia, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Alicia Farricielli. I am in the Tampa Bay area. I am what you call a quote unquote life coach, but I don't really like that terminology. I work with a lot of people to heal their inner child wounds. I do this through breathwork, meditation, energy healing, and then one-on-one coaching. I actually have my own podcast as well, and I do public speaking. So that's what I do in a nutshell.
Hello, public speaking. That's fantastic.
Yes, it's a new venture, and I love it.
Very good. So Alicia, tell us a little bit more. Why you decide to become an entrepreneur?
Oh man, I think I was born to be this way.
Yeah.
It was I literally think it's my blood.
Yeah. I think all of us have something, yeah?
Yeah, I'm one of those crazy people, it's like I can't work for other people very well. So
you're not crazy. I think that this is this is amazing, yeah. So, but what happened? There is any entrepreneur in your family? Do you have a friend as an entrepreneur? Do you read a book or a TV show? How this is actually happened and when it started? When?
Yeah. So I started back. I'll go back. So I grew up. My father was self-employed as a pastor, but he also did financial planning. Had a couple other little businesses going on. So I feel like I kind of grew up in that mentality of I didn't have my parents either had like a 9-to-5 job that they went to. My mom was kind of a stay-at-home mom. She'd have a couple little jobs here and there. She was in real estate for a little while, but just nothing like solid. So I didn't grow up in like that normal, like your dad goes to work every single day and comes home at a certain time and can't take off vacation, blah, 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 blah. So I, when I actually finished my college run, I decided I was wanting to go into sales. I was like, oh, sales are great. So I was in sales for a very long, and to me, if you're not going to be an entrepreneur, that's almost a second when you're in any type of like commissioned sales. I had, no base salary to base salary. So it's like almost like you're learning to survive off of whatever you're learning. Doing so office equipment, advertising. Oh man, all kinds of, I worked for wasn't Centos, but was another company for a little while. And so I got frustrated and decided, my first go around, I was staying at home with my kids. I was like, oh, I think I'm going to do some marketing for people. I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, full disclosure. I was like, but I'll figure it out. I know I'm smart enough. I can figure it out. So that didn't really take off too well. Got a little busy. Went back and then I went to the full-time world again. And so after that, I decided second go, I was working for a television station, and I was like, this is just absolutely, I was working 60 hours a week. And they're like, you need to work more. I was like, I have a single mom with 2 kids at home. I was like, how possibly don't have any more hours to work? We need to work harder. You need to work harder. I was like, I don't know how to work harder. Like, I'm giving it everything I have, trying to balance 2 children at home. And then this, job was overwhelming. And they would just like produce. It was never enough. And I was like, you know what? And I had a conversation with a friend previous, and I was like, she's like, we were thinking about starting our own, digital advertising business. Both of us had enough experience at the time, we would have been fine. But she didn't want to go off, and she got another job and didn't want to do that. So I decided, I was like, you know what, forget this. And I quit my job like on the spot. I just didn't show. I was like, I'm done. Didn't show up. That was not the smartest thing to do. I had no savings. I had nothing behind on that.
Wow.
I was in a town. Yeah, I was in Huntsville, Alabama at the time, and I absolutely did not know, the market there. Like, I didn't do my own market research that I knew I would know to do now. And this was like 20 years ago.
Wow.
Or 15 years ago. So around that, maybe more than that, but to go back and think. And so when I started it, I would go and I literally would go to call, like it was almost door knocking, because I knew how to door knock. more B2B businesses. So I always do that. And they're like, we don't really want to pay you. Why do we need to do social media? I was just going to focus on that. Why do we need to do that? Okay, we'll give you $300 a month. I was like, and so I couldn't survive off of like the little amounts that were coming in, and they just didn't value. There was absolutely no value for it at that time. Now Huntsville's changed a lot since I've left there, but they just didn't value marketing. It's like they give you're like, it's a $20,000-$30,000 a year job. And it's like, I couldn't survive off of that. So once I did that, I ended up like moving back in with my parents because I couldn't make my rent payment. I was struggling a lot. And so once I did that, I decided I'm never, ever, ever, ever going to go on my own. I was like, I want to find a job. So I found a job.
Wow.
In Nashville, Tennessee. Moved there. I drove back and forth for 2 months. From there, that was about an hour and 45-minute drive there, an hour and 40-minute drive back.
Wow.
In the middle of dropping my daughter and my kids off for school. So yeah, so I was crazy. So I did that. And then I started working, after that, started working for a digital advertising company, website development company, fabulous company. I was barely surviving on the salary they were able to pay me. And so I took another job. Big mistake. The job that I took, I went back to a company, ended up getting fired within 90 days because I didn't hit their quota.
Oh, wow.
But, it was a setup. I mean, I have full disclosure. I think it was a setup.
Yeah.
And so then I lost everything. I lost my apartment. I lost, everything because I didn't have any savings saved up. And so in the middle of that, I was like, I think I want to start my own event planning company. So I was looking for event jobs and I couldn't find an event job because they wanted you to have experience. Well, I didn't have experience in it and I couldn't under level. So I was like, you know what? Again, I'll figure it out. So I opened up my own company. I did bachelorette parties for a little while. That was not my forte. I won't go into that. And then I did scavenger hunts, started off doing like scavenger hunts for corporations, for bachelorette parties, for individuals. And that was a lot of fun. So I grew that company into, we went and then after that, then I kind of started backing off of that. And so I got an apartment community contact me and say, hey, will you do our social events? Absolutely. So I did that and I built that up to where we had 19 regular clients every month.
Wow.
Yeah, doing 1 to 2, 3 events. And so I had stacked events going on. I was working 80 hours, literally 80 hours a week, making barely any money. My staff made more money than I did. And by staff, I mean independent contractors were making like like they were all made, like I'm like, this is
stage, you hide the stage, you hide the venue, you hide everything. And at the end of the day, very little left. Tell me about it. We do events all over the world.
Yeah. It's like people think it's so profitable and it can be.
Yeah.
Not when you first, I did this for like almost 7 years or so. And so I literally burned out. I was like, I did not want to look at another event. So I slowly started, I fired, and I say fired, I let go of 90% of my clients, couple like 2 or 3 on, enough to pay for me to stay afloat with my bills. I had 1 or 2, I think 2 people left with me at the end of that I hadn't let go. And we ran that thing for about another year. And then I got into real estate, which is another entrepreneurial, like another job business. So I worked my way out of the event business into the real estate business. Did that for 4 years, 5, I don't even remember. And then ended up moving in between to Florida, to Tampa Bay, where I'm at now. So real estate was not for me. But I knew my true calling was I wanted to do business coaching. But I always said, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't have like this $1 billion business, you know. I'm like, wait a minute, that's such a limiting belief. So I started doing a lot of, like, I was like, I've ran profitable businesses and I can teach people, I can teach people to open up a business, like how to do that and how to do marketing. And I was like, but then I really started talking to people. They're like, well, I need a marketing plan, all this stuff. I'm like, but you don't even believe in yourself that you can do this. So that's where I stopped and was like, you know what? I think I really want to focus on helping people overcome limiting beliefs. And so that cycled into a lot of like inner work on myself. And so things that I came up with, and I got introduced into like energy work and breath work and meditation and it like completely transformed my life. It like changed me who I was. And so I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to help people do this. They can go on YouTube. I mean, I'm not just saying a good business coach, or like they're very vital, necessary, but I was like, people, what they were asking me for, they can go on YouTube and find. And if they have enough gumption and they want to do it, they're going to go look for the answers to it. So they can pay me and I can send them a YouTube video or teach them how to do stuff. Like they can figure it out on their own. But I can really get down to what they really need is the mindset work.
Yeah. I think that, 80% of the entrepreneurs and of the entrepreneurial success, right, is the mindset of the entrepreneur, right?
Absolutely.
All the success happening in your mind first, right? And listen to your story, right? This is what happened to every entrepreneur. It's a roller coaster. There is not a single entrepreneur that I have interviewed that said, "Oh, Harry, I started my first business. Everything was so smoothly, and I became a multi-millionaire." Not yet. I haven't found anybody tell me this fairy tale story, right? So it's always a roller coaster, and the trial and error, because at the end of the day, you're developing a skill, right? To be an entrepreneur it's not a talent based, it's a skill based. Basically, the more you practice, the better you become.
Yep.
So you need to go to that process to develop your skill, to open a business, to fail, to see what happened, to go and find a job, to now realize what I want to be an entrepreneur. Then you go to an entrepreneur, then you open another business that then, but this is not working for me. It's better job. And and in that process, you will find out what you really want and what type of business do you want to have. Yeah, I used to have one of my businesses, for example. I did real estate. Yeah, it was my first business. Was very successful actually. Yeah, I did it for the money, not because I was passionate about. Honestly,
Right. Most do.
I did it because a friend told me you can make a lot of money, and I wanted to make a lot of money, so I did real estate. And finally, I like it. Yeah, it's not my passion, but now we understand it pretty well. So we know that time to time we look at things and we know that we can invest and get a good return because we understand that industry very well, and I know that we can make money there, right? But it's not the passion. And like, for example, our real estate business, we sold over 5 million, but at the end of the day, we de-escalated because I was doing it for the money. And in this journey of the entrepreneur, you find out what do you really want, what type of business you want to have, what type of life do you want to have, what time, like, for example, the event business. Yes. Tell me about that one. We organize events all over the world: Singapore, Dubai, London, Peru, Mexico, and on the plane all the time and everything. It's not that we like events, yeah, but now we're doing just 2-3 a year, right? No crazy like before. So because you can design how you want to live your life. What do you want? What you don't want, right? But until you don't have a business that you find out what you don't want and that you're not passionate about, then you will find that one that you're passionate about, and you really align with the lifestyle you want to have. Yeah. I mean, there is nothing wrong about the event business, right? There is this
No, absolutely not.
No, this friend of mine, Richard and Veronica Tan, they are the founder of Social Resources, that the biggest events company in the world. They have 10 million attendees, right? And this guy, they are on the plane all the time, all the year, and they love it. And I'm like, oh my God, Richard, you still traveling? You're getting on, man, and they love it, right? But wow, we did that. Was like some point, like one day we had to be in Mexico to give a conference, and then next day we had to be in Singapore, and we taking a flight from Mexico to London, and then to London to Singapore. I cannot even sleep in my own bed. I mean, Hindra
Drop
said,
by.
would it be possible that I can go take a taxi for 1 hour and touch my bed for half an hour and come back? And the promoter, no, you don't move from this airport because there are like thousands of people waiting for you in the other, so you had to go. I'm like, man, so,
Yes.
and it happened more than once, right? So we love it for a while, right? And to be on the road, but in that roller coaster, you find out what do you want, what you don't want, right? And it's interesting because I feel that how you this business that you have now, right? To helping entrepreneurs to be a business coach and help them with the mindset, right? I think that you only can teach things that you have done, right?
Absolutely.
And I think that you can help out a lot of entrepreneurs there that they are running a business. They think that they're running a business, and what they are doing is killing their life, working Monday to Sunday with no rest, no, even no, they can lose their wife, they're not talking with the children, they have relationship problem at home, they never have time for anything, and all they're doing is working Monday to Sunday, surviving something that maybe is a better way to do that, right? Let me let me give you the perspective. One of my businesses, I have a dream somehow that I want to open a restaurant, right? And I don't know why. I like to eat a lot, and I was opening, and so I had this brilliant idea. I don't know how, to open a Spanish restaurant here in UK. I call it, on top of that, Harry Spanish Tapa. Imagine, if it's a Spanish thing, you should call it Lola and Pepe. Now that we teach a lot about branding, I'm like, Harry, what were you thinking 15 years ago with that name, right? So, long story short, I run this restaurant for 2 years. I work Monday to Sunday, no rest. I didn't see my family. I didn't take any holiday. I didn't think. End of the story. I lost 200,000 pounds. I lost my girlfriend back then. I lost my friends. I lost everything. So that gave me to and almost my other businesses almost collapsed because of this. So I get to the conclusion what I don't want, what type of business I don't want, right?
Yeah.
And my question to you is this one, Alicia, right? People don't realize that when we go to this roller coaster, right? You have this business, that you put up your money or your effort and didn't work. So all this negative baggage, it go to your brain. It go to get accumulating your unconscious mind. And if you don't let that go, if you don't work with your limiting belief, because maybe I think that people are stuck. Sometimes I speak with restaurant owner and they told me, Harry, I'm making money. I'm like, man, are you making money with this restaurant? Really? So what are you doing restaurant? This is so complex. Do something, with the skill set that you have. They're clearly passionate about food because they're really passionate. Because, to run some businesses that require a lot of operation, a lot of thing, right? Some people have the limiting belief that this is the only business they can be in the restaurant business. Nothing wrong with restaurant business. A lot of people make a lot of money. But I find it, for me, very hard with a lot of operation, a lot of complexity, right? Food costs, food waste, chef, you name it, marketing. So anyway, so what do you think that, because if the entrepreneur have a limiting belief on what he can achieve, right? They can be trapped in the business. And if they're trapped in the business, they cannot live their life, right?
So first of all, to run a restaurant sounds glamorous and fun. And it's like, oh, but to run a really successful restaurant in the first few years, you have to be so involved in it. And so I feel like most people don't, because it's conversations my husband and I had back and forth. And we're like, we don't want to be tied down to anything. And he's he used to work in the restaurant business management, all this stuff. And now he moved over to real estate. So that's he made the change from that. He didn't own the restaurant, but he ran the restaurants into real estate and made tons, so much great money, and found his passion in that. So it's not that you take the skills you have. So if you own this restaurant and it's burning you out, sell it. Because sell it, get rid of it. If you cannot outsource everything you're doing and get out of the restaurant, like get your hands out of it. So you can't be the business. It's hard to be the business owner, the marketing person, on top of running the restaurant, the HR person. I mean, all the stuff. And then half the time you're probably the head, like the chef coming up with rest, all the kind of stuff. Your time that you just can't do all those things effectively.
Yeah.
So, and it's when you first start off, it's like understandable that you have to, you have to put in more sweat hours than money out, equity, bringing in, paying out to do that. However, when you get to the point, it's like taking that chance and trusting yourself. And if you very solidly trust enough, outsource some of the stuff out.
Absolutely. Otherwise, you don't have a business.
Yeah.
You cannot get out.
Right.
People think, no, I'm a business. No, you're not. Your business is separate.
You have a job.
Separate thing. It's not your life. You are not your business, right?
Right.
The business have their own life, their own. You build the brand and these things by yourself. You are yourself, and the business is it's a separate entity, right? And if you don't, if you're not careful, right, the business can eat your life. Since my property business, I'm telling you, 17 years ago, my phone has been in silence 17 years ago. Since 17 years. And this came from my property business because we have like 170 clients, tenants, whatever, and everybody wants to speak with Harry. And I'm like, I guess everybody wants to speak with me. If I take the phone call of everybody wants to speak with me, I spend the whole day talking on the phone. I also need to do some work. So I hired one of my managers. I said, listen, you are Harry. Yeah. So if everybody wants to speak with Harry, then we'll speak with you. Yeah. Harry doesn't exist anymore. So Harry's gone, you are Harry. And then I put my phone in silence and I've been amazing since then, right? And then also that we had to experience the test because at the same time I had the restaurant, but I had this restaurant because before in my real estate business, it reached to a point that I'm going to the office and they were telling me, Harry, you don't need it. We don't need you. Go home. That's what my manager. I'm like, really? You don't need paper in the photocopy or anything that I can do? And they would say, go home. Everything is fine. So we managed to. I create this. I had to say by accident, right? When I was in the office, I put a sign in the office that said, "Don't come with a problem if you don't have a solution," right?
Mm-hmm.
And somehow my team were coming with the problem. I said, do you have a solution? Do you read the thing back? Oh, no, I don't have. Okay, go back and think about the solution. I'm thinking, because I'm thinking these employees are going to kill me. I'm paying to all of them. And if I pay you, and then I also have to solve your problem, what I'm paying you for, right? So I say you should solve the problem. That's what the job is. Not to your job is not bring me the problem to me to solve it. So then I was, because again there are way so many employees, so I'm only one. Nobody understood that. I'm like, am I misunderstood? I'm the only one wrong here, or I'm only one person. I cannot deal with everybody, right? And then but I put that by accident. To try to protect myself, because of why I spend the whole day solving all the problems of the employees also. And to the point that the people in the office, they got the idea how that any challenge, they have to be proactive and they have to solve it themselves. And I'm going to give them freedom to do that because I don't want to be disturbed. So you try to offer the solution. If it works, work. If it doesn't, no problem. You will find another solution that works. It will also need the money. That's fine. But please leave me in peace. I only want. Anyway, long story short, they become amazing. They all were better than me on the on all the roles that they were doing. And because I gave them that freedom, now they're in the position that now they don't need me. If there is a problem, they will come with the solution. They will call me and say, Harry, what's this problem? I took this decision. Amazing. wow, congratulations. Actually, because I took this decision, we're making more money. I'm like, wow, that's fantastic. And you don't even call me? No, no, no. I did this by myself, blah, blah, and everything's working. And sometimes, Harry, you see, I had this problem. I took this solution and, it didn't work. We lost a little bit of money. I say, okay, you know what? What do you want me to do? If it's me, I might make the mistake. I might lose the money. It's not like
Yeah.
So okay, next time when you have a problem, you will try to solve it better. Let's see what happens because this is how it goes. Don't worry, don't be sad. We make money, we lose money. It's fine. So, but at the end, that business running autopilot, and I was literally not needed in the office. Yeah, that's why I opened the restaurant because I was bored at home. I have nothing to do, right? So
You bought yourself a job.
I should go take on holiday or something. I have nothing to do with this money coming in. Rather than go on holiday and enjoy life, I had this stupid idea to open a restaurant. It was not that stupid though, because I learned a lot about business. Yeah, and I don't regret it.
Right.
It helped me to realize what I want. That was possible to have a business very profitable, that you don't need to be involved at all. But also there is another type of business that they will drag you and all your life, and it's literally not working. Even I remember the mom of my girlfriend used to come to a restaurant. She was an entrepreneur, and she was to come, Harry, come here. Listen, close this restaurant. It's not working. And I'm very stubborn, I'm like, I'm gonna make it work. And she was telling me, it's not working. It's gonna drag you down. Forget it. Move on. I'm like, oh no, I want to make this restaurant work. My God. But I didn't. She was right. What I mean? And then she told my girlfriend, look what you doing, this loser. He doesn't understand. So anyway, but when you lose it all, when you take a hit, right? That, oh wow, I didn't thought this was gonna work so bad, and it did. You start to think in so many things, in your mental health, in what type of business you want to have. And I think that if somebody's listening to this podcast, right, and it resonates with something that we're sharing here, it's important that now they should realize how important is the job you do. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you can save the life. You can talk to them and say, listen, you are in this business because there is a limiting belief inside your head that you're not good enough, that you're not worth it, and you feel that you should be doing this for the rest of your life because this is who you are. And there is a limiting belief around the way, right? That is built into that entrepreneur that if it doesn't do the work, it's gonna can pay off really, really bad. Can end up in cancer. This is how these things end up.
Yep.
Cancer,
Absolutely.
suicidal, in you name it, right? Okay. So what message do you have for people out there, the entrepreneurs that they are struggling, that they have something that is worse than a job? They waking up Monday to Sunday, they just like stubborn that are gonna make this work, and in the process they are suffering with their life. They don't have time to spend with their family, with friends, with the people that they love, right? And they have a serious impact in the mental health. And I always said, an emotional pain can lead to physical pain, right? It translates. So what message do you have for all these people out there?
So great. And I actually have a good example of a client I've worked with past few years so she was actually working, single mom of multiple children, working on the hustle grind, just going. She made a lot of money, but she had no energy, no time. She's completely burnt out. We've all been there, done that. We want to force, and we force stuff and force stuff and force stuff and force it and force it and make it happen. We hustle, it's going to happen, is what I'm told. We work hard, it's going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not in alignment to your values of what you want.
Absolutely.
To who you are. It's never going to work. You're going to push yourself up against the wall every single time.
You're inside a right race, right?
And you can't just step off of it because in your central nervous system just is like so out of whack So you have to gradually step off of this hamster wheel. You can't
Absolutely.
just say, I'm going to stop doing this, because then you're going to freak out. And that's where people just like go and make bad decisions. So as you gradually step back from it. So as I kind of gradually stepped her back, and it took about a year, she made as much or not more money. She works half the amount, probably half the
Really?
amount of hours. She's out,
I believe
spends
you
more
100%.
time with her kids, and she is in a much better, like, I mean, overall
Mental health. Yeah,
of mental health, of everything. I've seen so much her shine now and so many things, and able to take on bigger challenges in her life because she's
absolutely.
off that hamster wheel. So it's a matter of just getting yourself off, but doing it slowly. Sit down and like look at what do you valuing right now?
Mm,
Obviously you're valuing people about their business.
mm,
What are you valuing that you're not having? If it's your family,
mm.
start stepping off that wheel. Stop forcing stuff to happen. If you're forcing a business, and I've did this multiple times. This is when, like, multiple business. I did real estate. That's why I finally stepped out. I've forced. And
Causing an
it's
outcome. Yeah.
force the outcome, and it's using and people like your masculine, feminine energies. We have to use our masculine energies to get up and do what we got to do. But our feminine energy, and every male and female, or every human has this inside of them. It's the flow. It's the
Mm-hmm.
letting stuff happen. So we have so
Mm-hmm.
many opportunities. We're on this hamster wheel that are getting shoved into our face from God, whatever. And
Absolutely.
we're
Because the
like,
kind that has the
and
will,
we
you
don't
don't see the opportunities. Yeah.
you don't see them. You absolutely, because you're so focused on survival. And so step back and just trust. And again, you can't just jump back and say, I'm just going to trust, because your nervous system is so out. And so combining that with I work with clients, combining that with like meditation and breath work.
Mm-hmm.
And I do energy work and stuff on the art to start calming their nervous system down. They can actually focus and think straight.
Mm-hmm.
And then they make decisions. It's like, is it worth it for me to continue this business? It's not working. Why is it out of alignment
Exactly.
with what I want?
Exactly.
Or
Somebody
can I
has to tell
approach it
you,
differently?
yeah. I think that the people, I think that what my mother-in-law was trying to tell me there is like, it's not worth it, Harry.
Yeah.
Close it. It's not worth it. You living your life here, and it's not, and but again, you have a limiting belief, like you get attached personally to the business, like it was like my baby. Even people say, oh, this business doesn't make any money, I will get angry. It was like a baby to me. I'm saying, what are you talking about? It will make money. You know what I mean? You get so attached mentally, and after you put so much effort, so much energy, so much dream in the business, that sometimes you lose the perspective of reality, right?
Yeah.
And if there is no market for it, what happened with my restaurant? I mean, that was way too early, right? I was changing the food trend in Brick Lane, which is an area in London that is famously known by curry houses restaurant, and I opened the first non-curry restaurant. Which was in Spanish type at that spot, that created a lot of press, a lot of controversy, a lot of thing, but it was an initial of the trend. Actually, after I closed my restaurant, now 50% of Brick Lane is no curry houses anymore. It's alternative food, right? So I saw the opportunity. I knew there was way too many restaurants, everybody selling the same thing, and there was market for alternative food there. But in business, sometimes when you're way too early, the amount of resources and energy and everything, I didn't have the energy to continue the financial strength to continue this, because I was way too early. That's what actually happened. It's not that the idea was bad. Actually, the idea was brilliant. Yeah. But you need finance and know-how and a lot of
slowly get that idea out. You can't just bam something new on people because our brains don't work that way.
I didn't have the marketing capacity or anything to make that work, right? Or the expertise, right? But at the end of the day, what happened is that, I understand you 100% that when you speak with your clients, you tell them, listen, I've been there. I run an event business and I almost killed myself doing this. making little money. All my employees make money, and after the event finish, I'm making almost nothing because you need to pay the lights, you need to pay the music, you need to pay the venue, you have to pay this. And a lot of people come to the event and see some people say, "Oh, this woman should be Alice Watch is making a lot of money. Look how many people are here." And look how much the tickets are. This woman is low. They don't know that when when you pay all the suppliers and everything and the marketing and so on, you're lucky if you left out with something, right?
Yeah, if you're not in the red, you're lucky.
Yeah, you're very lucky. Yeah. This is
Absolutely. Yeah.
we are in the position now that we only do events if we make money up front. Yeah. So everybody that every day I have a call from someone, Harry, let's do this event. I'm like, really? No, man. No. I'm very careful what type of events I'm getting into because I already done so many. I know the reality, right? So it's an industry that I love the events. Don't get me wrong, I love parties, and we organize Speakers and Leaders Awards here, in Luxury Business Award here in London. I say one of the best gig in town. People love it. A lot of celebrity comes and so on, billionaires, you name it. But we only do this one a year, the amount of logistic and resources that this thing takes is not to do it like every month, like some people are suggesting me, let's do it every month. And no way, this once a year,
You do it, I'm out.
yeah. No, that's the worst thing. Harry, you do it. No.
No.
I do it once a year, but no more than that. Yeah. Anyway, so the truth that people out there suffering, right, running the business, they don't have to. So
Right.
what is the process, Alice? If somebody's listening to us, the entrepreneurs, and they feel that they are struggling and they are attached to the business, they're trying to convince themselves, I'm going to make this work, I'm going to make money with this, but there are already 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, and your wife doesn't believe in you anymore, your children doesn't believe in you anymore, your friend doesn't believe in anymore, and there is you only, believing that you're gonna make this work. And a lot of people, you go to these talks, and a lot of people say, no, don't give up, and you have to be careful with these type of phrases, because if you say, have you ever seen a fly trying to get out as a glass window? It doesn't give up, but it won't never go through. You know what I mean?
Right.
These flies hitting the glass window all the time. It's not that if doesn't matter, you don't give up. You're not gonna find a way. It's a glass window sill, and you try to get out this window. So, so it's a combination of don't give up, but change your approach. Because if you keep doing exactly the same thing, you're gonna have exactly the same result, guarantee. So you have to change your approach. So how you can help them, Alice, how they can find you, how can you help them, to those entrepreneurs that they are hitting again this fly, again this glass window all the time, trying to go through, and it's not working, and it's never gonna work.
Right.
A mosquito won't go through a glass window because the window is closed.
Yeah. First of all, I'm going to, before all this, surround yourself. I would suggest the first person, I'll tell them how to reach out to me, is to surround yourself by people who believe in you. Even if your family, whatever, go find one person that believes in you and have a conversation and get that going. Find out if you're working on ego or if you're working on your passion, because ego is the one that's keeping you going.
Absolutely.
Drive. So you got to take that ego out, and just, money is energy, and it can be made again. You lose it, you gain it. You lose it, you gain it. So you have to look at money that way, not to spend it stupidly or to invest bad. But that. Anybody that wants to work with me, they can reach out to me on my website. It's aliciafarricielli.com. That's ALICIAFARRICIELLI. It's a long last name. .com. Find me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I have a podcast, Intuitive Revolution. You can learn more about what I'm doing, and I have some awesome guests on there too. on that, Spotify, YouTube, all the fun stuff. So yeah.
Fantastic. So then, Alicia, what are the 5 steps that entrepreneurs should be doing all day to achieve the first million?
The first million. First of all, you have to believe in yourself, because if you don't, I know that's so redundant, but it's so truth. If you don't believe in yourself, go find me or somebody else that can teach you how to start believing in yourself. Second of all is to not be afraid to give. Again, we talked about to give up and start something new. If it's not working and you're not happy and it's not bringing you any type of joy, it's time to let it go. Be quick to let go. Third, surround yourself by the right people. Don't surround yourself by people who go to their 9-to-5 job, and there's nothing wrong with having friends that have 9 to 5. I have to, but they complain about their jobs. If you have anyone who complains consistently, there's a difference in having a bad day and somebody, I need to chat this out, I know I'm having a bad day, to someone who consistently complains about their lives and brings you down. Get rid of them. I don't care if they're their family. You can distance yourself. You can protect yourself from that. You may still have to deal with them, but you don't have to spend as much time with them.
Because that you got influence
Yeah.
in you, definitely.
And go find people who are doing what you want to do and do it. That goes in the fourth thing, is do not be competitive. Like, competition is for people who are below you. So if you want to be there, people who are, you find out the people who are like, I look at like Oprah, Tony Robbins, people that I want to aspire to be like, they're not ever talking about how bad people are, or they're never saying I'm better than anyone else, or they're never comparing. They don't compare themselves to anyone. Think about it. Your top producers don't compare themselves to anyone, at least out there. They might in their head, but out there, because they're so focused on doing their job and doing a great job of it and being everything they can be for everyone else. Is that 4? Yeah. 5 is to be authentic, be yourself. Don't be somebody else. Don't try. It's finding those people that you align with. I love, like I said, I love Oprah. Like, I love her, and Dolly Parton too. People talk like, they're like, oh, Alicia loves Dolly. I don't want to be them, but I love their attributes. And so their attributes and the things I strive to be close to what they bring into the world. But I never try to be that person. I never try to be something I'm not anymore, that I'm not. If I'm not good at something, I'll let you know. And I don't take on clients that I'm like, I can't help you. I cannot get it. This is not my avenue. I'm quick to refer out, because it's such a big, there's plenty of stuff, plenty of money in the world for everyone. There's plenty of food. There's plenty of everything. Have an abundant mindset and help people. Partner up with your competitors.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's like you said, you have to and I trained a lot of speakers in worldwide, right? And I always tell them the same thing, right? You don't need to speak like Tony Robbins or like Harry.
No.
You have to design your own speaking style, right? This is about you, and people will like you for who you are. And what
if they don't, they don't.
yeah, you will, exactly. They don't. You don't need to like to everyone. It doesn't work like that.
Right, no, but
Yeah, you have to develop your own your own speaking style, right? And I think for all entrepreneurs out there, I think I'm so happy, Alicia. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me on here.
That you joined this podcast and you raised such a very important topic that nobody wants to talk about. Everybody's feeling it, right? But nobody wants to talk about it. And we know that every single entrepreneur out there, right? We know the roller coaster that they have been through. We know the negative baggage that they carry out. And we know that they have to start to work on themselves in order to release all this negative baggage, in order to change or work on the limiting belief, because these limiting beliefs are showing up everywhere. They're showing up in your business, showing up in your relationship, they're showing up in your health, they're showing up everywhere, right?
Absolutely.
You only have one life. You deserve better than that. We are here empowering entrepreneur. We want the best for you. We want you to be happy. We want you to spend time with your family and friends. We want you to travel the world. This is what you like. We want you that you go and work own the business, not in the business. And you go to the business because you want to, not because you have to. I remember when I was going to my property thing, I just passing by. I remember I was in the passing by the office. I said, let me go down and say hello to the guys. You know, that's when I would pass by my own office with my own brand, with my hundreds of clients and 100 employees, and you know, they would never were expecting me to show up there. If I go and say hello, hey Harry, how are you, blah blah, and everybody's looking at the computer again like I'm not there. You know what I mean? So it was amazing. I was thinking like, sometime leaving this office, I'm saying, this is unbelievable that these people don't need me anymore. I couldn't even believe myself. Ridiculous. Not even paper for the copy they needed. You know, at the beginning, they were driving crazy. Harry, we don't have this. Harry, we don't have that. And I'm like, these people now, they don't even need anything. And you know, the company making money, everything running fantastically. Yeah. The opposite, the guest, my sales manager used to go and tell me, Harry, listen, the only problem in this company is you don't come. I said, me? How come me? I built it. They said, no, stay at home because you give us a holiday. No. They said, you are the only problem in this company. I'm like, me? I built it. Yeah, go home, man. So that was crazy. Yeah, they were very, very brilliant, you know, employees, I have to say. Yeah, that's the other thing as well. When I changed my mindset and my limiting belief, like, I have to be controlling everything and I don't trust anybody, right? Well, guess what? I was exhausted. I was working 14 hours, 16 hours a week in the property. I was waking up with my laptop in my lab, and I didn't trust anybody. I didn't want to trust anybody with my company, with my clients, with everything. I'm like, I'm the over controlling them and I'm doing everything myself. Well, that didn't work out so well. I was working so much and still it was not making money at the time that I work on my limiting belief and I work on myself and I let that go and I start to hire people. I realized something amazing. I realized that the people that was hiring, all of them better than me at everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, wow, if I knew this early, you know. So
that's part of your journey. You learned it. So that's important part.
You know, it's a self discovery. But again, everything is happening in your head. And people don't realize that everything is running on your head. And if you don't work on yourself and work on your mindset and work on your head, man, if something is wrong with your head or with your whatever, or you don't haven't worked that out, oh my God, it's gonna show up in the business and it's gonna affect you. Okay, so thank you so much, Alicia.
Thank you so much.
And for all of you following our Unstoppable podcast, how brave entrepreneurs like Alicia break that wall and achieve the first million. See you in our next episode. Bye for now.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.